So I had a question from Dana about page 120 of my book, where I'm talking about how we end up with a particular emotion as our baseline, and how if this doesn't support us, so for example, if it's anxious or depressed, how do we ditch the habit, or how do we ditch this addiction of this particular emotion easily and effortlessly? Um, so and I just need to say that this is for people who aren't in severe distress and actually need qualified help or medical attention. So for most of us, um, habits and addictions aren't easy to ditch. But here are the steps. The first one is to know that you are in that state in the first place. So it actually requires you to take a little step away and just observe what the emotion is that you're actually in at the moment, right? Or what the emotion is that's predominantly happening in your life. So if we have a particular emotional state, say for example, anxiety, that's our baseline, we will look for things in the outside world to justify feeling anxious so that we can feed the receptors in our cells with molecules of anxiety. So first we need to observe that that is actually what's happening. And then secondly, we need to be aware of whether this is what we would choose. So we need to be aware of the fact that there is choice. Does it support us? If your basic state is one of happiness and optimism and joy, it's probably great. You know, your life will be really good. But if it's a state of anxiety or depression or anger or frustration or whatever it is, that is probably not supporting you and it's coloring your whole life. So does it support you? And if it's no, then know that you have a choice to do something different, and then you choose that. So the long way around is to just continuously noticing the state that you're in, realizing that this is an internal state, not an external state. And this is why people can be in exactly the same situation and react really differently and behave really differently. Yeah, they just have a different angle on things. And so know that you have a choice in how you are in the world and how you react to any given thing. If you want to speed it up, I would recommend sitting, allowing the emotion to just be there. Just let it sit. Feel the uncomfortable emotions. Feel the discomfort. Just allow it to be there. The more you resist, the more this is going to build up. So if you just allow it to be there, it will generally take, you know, a couple of minutes to maximum a day if it's really intense, or if actually having to just sit with this thing that's bothering you, with this emotion that's bothering you. Or, for example, you could also journal. Yeah. So with this, I would recommend you just write and keep writing, keep writing. So ask yourself the question, why am I feeling anxious? And just write and write and write and write. And you will find that there come little stops where the flow from your brain will slow down. Just keep writing anyway, because that's how you access the next level down. And by doing this often enough, you'll eventually get down to the actual reason why you're feeling this way. Yeah, not the perceived or the stories or the things that you have experienced or whatever. It's like it will actually come down to, and this is actually why the basic sensation in my body is one of this emotion, say anxiety. So there isn't a quick or easy or effortless way necessarily. Well, it certainly doesn't tend to be all three at a time. But if you give yourself permission to do any one of those strategies, or if you do one of the other amazing techniques that are available, like my personal one is Lifeline, which I use on myself and for others as well, you will be able to shift this state. But at least you have some strategies now to just notice and change things in the moment. So good luck with that. And if you have any other questions, just drop me a line.